To test the circuit, the clear is 1, and preset is 1, switch must be disabled. The power is 1, and start is 1, switch in the clock, disabler/enabler disabler/enabler must also be enabled. First, enter an input. Example is floor 5. The comparator will compare the input to the current output. Example is 0. And if it is different compared to the input, it will begin to enable the clock, activating the counter. To count up, activate the X switch to high. X is 1. After that, activate the clock. The counter will begin counting up until it reaches the intended floor. When it reaches the intended floor, it will not change the output unless another input is inserted. To count down, set the X switch to low, X is 0, and insert another input. Example is 2. Activate the clock, and the counter will begin counting down until it reaches the intended floor. After reaching the intended floor, it will not change until another input is inserted.
Okay, so I'm going to be presenting the advanced version of Basic Circuit 1. To improve our lift system, we've made a number of enhancements like an automatic door system, which opens the door when the desired floor is reached or when the emergency switch is activated, additional input for card access, and a password system. So let me demonstrate. As you can see here, the password that is currently set is 153. So let's say I input the wrong password, which is 113, and I want to go to somewhere like floor 6. The current floor is 0. So if I try to go to floor 6, it will not go to floor 6 because the password is wrong. But if I input the correct password, 153, it will go up. And as you can see here, the door indicator is low, showcasing that the door is currently closed. But when I reach floor 6, the door indicator will become high, indicating that the door is open. So let's say I want to go down. I want to go down to floor 4. So on the way to floor 4, I go to floor 5. The door is currently closed. But if I hit the emergency switch, it will light up, and the door will go high and immediately open. And if I try to go to floor 4 anyways, while the emergency switch is on, it will not move. So that's all for my presentation.
Okay, so I will start now. In Basic Circuit 2, a counter was employed instead of a 3-bit flip-flop. Additionally, a 4-bit bus comparator was utilized to simplify the wiring as opposed to the Basic Circuit 1, which is more complex. The primary purpose of the comparator is to compare the input values and the output value within the circuit. To test the lift controller, clear pin needs to be disabled, which is clear pin is 1, and enable pin should be enabled, in which the enable pin is 1. For keep the load set at 0, since when activated, counter or register won't count, but will load a value presented on its data inputs. Unset the enable terminal to 1, allow the counter to perform its normal function when enable input is active. This provides greater control over operation of controller. So for this counter to function as count up, the X is set to 1 and the input I will set a random number at 6. and then when the clock starts, it started counting up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And since the door output is 1, that means the door is open. As to count down, the X is set to 0, and I'll put it in the lower number. Now 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the door opens again. So this is the basic circuit for the circuit 2.
All right. For the circuit to enhance the functionality of our lift control, several advanced features were introduced. Firstly, an automatic door system was implemented, which opens the door when the desired floor is reached, facilitated by a door switch, additional input switch for a card access and emergency when also is implemented. This DIP were implemented for the passcode. Three DIP switches were configured. A code 113. These DIP switches are connected to an hexadigit input switches, prompting user to enter the code. The DIP switches that and the hexadigit inputs are linked to the comparator, which in turn is connected to an AND gate. So let me show you how Lyft works. For example, if you put the password 1, and 3, and the X is going to be 1, and enable 1, and clock should be 0, and we punch the card, then the clear is 1. And if you want to go to level 3, we again go 1, and that's it, level 3. And if you want to go to level to use the down floor, level till 0, we put 0. And this one, that's it. This is how the lift is actually working. Okay.
Okay, I think that's all for our basic circuit 2.
Yeah. Thank you.